Hey there, Jennifer here. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet the Shadow Plaid Wrap. Are you looking to make a nice large wrap to keep your shoulders warm, one with a unique construction and an eye-catching design? Are you looking for a relaxing, meditative project that you can just pick up at the end of the day and work a few rows to help you wind down? Then this is the crochet project for you. The Shadow Plaid Wrap is worked lengthwise from the bottom up with increases at the beginning and end of each row. The stitch pattern is a variation of granny stitch, where you'll work 2 double crochet stitches in each chain 1 space between double crochet groups. The vertical stripe pattern is formed by changing colors after every double crochet group. Working into chain spaces like this gives the fabric a lovely soft drape, perfect for large accessories like this wrap. And best of all, the fabric is completely reversible. Before you begin, you should know how to make a half double crochet, a double crochet, and a chain. It will help if you have some experience working with Tapestry Crochet colorwork, but if this technique is new to you, that's okay. I'll walk you through the steps to make these color changes, and I'll be sure to go slowly so you can follow along. With some practice, you'll soon be changing colors like a pro. For most of the rows in this pattern, you'll be working 2 colors in every row. The main color, this burgundy here, is worked in every row all the way from the beginning to the end. Then there are 4 contrasting colors, which you'll work in wide stripes. So in every row, except the first and last one, you'll be using the main color and one of the 4 contrasting colors. For this tutorial, I'll be using purple for the main color and orange for the contrasting color. These obviously aren't the same colors I used in my wrap. I just chose these for the tutorial so that you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So be sure to refer to the pattern for the yarn type, colors, and hook size for this project. As a side note, if you'd like to try out different color combinations for your stripes, be sure to check out the coloring sheet in your pattern. The pattern also includes a breakdown of the approximate yarn quantity needed for each row, in case you want to customize your wrap further by adjusting the width or number of rows in the horizontal stripes. With that, I think we're ready to begin. We'll start with the foundation row. Notice how the bottom or unused part of my foundation row has a nice finished edge. We can get this look by working into the back bar of the foundation chain. I'll show you how. Go ahead and grab your crochet hook and your yarn. Again, for this project, you'll need a main color and a contrasting color, but for the foundation row, we'll just use the main color. We'll start by making our foundation chain. So find the tail end here and go ahead and make a slip knot. Place it on your hook. I'm going to chain 21 for this tutorial, but you'll want to check the pattern for the correct number of chains in your wrap. If you tend to make really tight chains, you might consider going up a hook size when you make your foundation chain. And then of course you'll want to go back to your regular hook for the rest of your project. Now that I have my chain, our next step is to work a half double crochet in the 3rd chain from our hook. Again, we're going to work this stitch into the back bar of the chain. To find the back bar, notice how these are the V's that you typically associate with a chain. Just flip those over and you'll see the back bars or bumps. To start, go ahead and skip the first 2 chains and we'll make a half double crochet in the 3rd chain. Next, we'll make another half double crochet in the next chain. And go ahead and continue working a half double crochet in each chain across. When you get to the end, go ahead and turn, and I'll meet you there to begin row 1. I've turned my work and I'm ready to begin row 1. We'll start with a chain 3. This counts as the first double crochet of the row. Next, we'll work a double crochet into the first half double crochet while changing color on the last yarn over. Here's how to do this. Yarn over and insert your hook into the half double crochet. Yarn over and draw through the stitch. Then yarn over and draw through 2 loops on your hook. Then stop. Drop your main color and grab your contrasting color. Loop the new color onto your hook and then draw through the 2 loops on your hook to complete the color change. So notice how we have the new color on our hook, and we're ready to continue with the new color. Go ahead and chain 1. Now we'll skip the next half double crochet. So that's right here. I'm going to skip that half double crochet and work into the space right next to it, the space between it and the next half double crochet. Because this is tapestry crochet, we'll be working over the yarn not in use. This one right here, the blue one, purple one. So you'll want to carry the yarn not in use along the top of the row so that it's in a good position for us to work over it. I'm going to go ahead and work a double crochet over that carried yarn and into that space. See how the double crochet stitch, it encases the carried yarn. There's no strands like floating across the back there. It's all tucked neatly inside that stitch. Next, I'm going to work another double crochet into that same space while changing color on the last yarn over. And again, I'm working over that carried yarn for this stitch as well. So yarn over, insert your hook in that same space, yarn over and draw through, then yarn over and draw through 2 loops on your hook, and then stop. Go ahead and drop your contrasting yarn and pick up the main color again. You'll want to go ahead and tug on this gently but firmly, and this will help maintain an even tension, and it'll also ensure that there are no like loose strands poking through the back or through between any of the stitches. So just tug on it gently but firmly, and then yarn over with that yarn with that main color and draw through the 2 loops on your hook to complete the color change. Chain 1, and now we'll skip the next 2 half double crochets. So that's this stitch and this stitch. I know it can be kind of hard to see which stitches to skip. With half double crochets, the loops at the top of the stitch, they tend to sit a little bit to the left of where the posts actually are. Kind of makes it a little hard to count stitches when you're working in between into spaces. So in this case, I think it might be easier to count the posts of the stitches. So here we have the first half double crochet post that we're going to skip, and the second half double crochet post that we'll skip. And we're going to work into that space that's between the last stitch that we skipped and the next stitch. So right into there, I'm going to make a double crochet while working over this carried yarn. I'm going to make another double crochet into that same space while changing colors on the last yarn over. So yarn over, insert your hook into that space, yarn over and draw through, then yarn over and draw through 2 loops on your hook, and stop there. I'm going to drop my main color and pick up my contrasting color. Again, go ahead and give it a little bit of a tug, then yarn over with the new color and draw through the 2 loops on your hook to complete the color change. Go ahead and chain 1. I'm going to do this again one more time, but this time I want you to notice how I'm picking up my colors and putting them back with each color change. So I'm going to skip the next 2 half double crochets, so that post and that post, and I'm going to work into the space directly between the last stitch I skipped and the next stitch. So right into there, I'm going to make a double crochet while working over the carried yarn. Then I'll work another double crochet into that same space, and I'll stop before the last yarn over. Now I'm going to drop my contrasting color to the back, and I'm going to pick up my main color from the front. Give it a little bit of a tug, yarn over, and draw through the 2 loops on my hook to complete the color change. Chain 1. So you see, every time I switch to the main color, I pick it up from the front, and when I'm done with it, I return it to the front. And the same for the contrasting color. I pick it up from the back, and I return it to the back. This will help keep my yarns from getting tangled. Now, I prefer to keep the main color in the front, but if you want to arrange them differently, that's just fine, as long as you make sure to always pick up and drop off your colors to their designated spots, your yarns will stay tangle free. I'll make a few more of these so that you can see. Continue in this sequence all the way across the row until you get to the last 2 half double crochets, and I'll meet you there. I've reached the end of the row and I have 2 half double crochet stitches remaining. Go ahead and chain 1, and I'll skip the next half double crochet. Then, working over the yarn not in use, I'll work a double crochet in the last half double crochet, which is the top of the beginning chain 2. Next, I'll work another double crochet into that chain while changing color on the last yarn over. So yarn over, insert my hook into that chain, yarn over and draw through, yarn over and draw through 2 loops on my hook. I'll drop my main color and pick up the contrasting color, give it a little tug, yarn over and draw through the 2 loops on my hook to complete the color change. Go ahead and turn your work, and your row is complete. To begin row 2, we'll chain 3. Next, we'll make a double crochet in the first double crochet while also changing color to the main color in the last yarn over. So to change color at the beginning of the row like this, we'll need to carry the previous color up along the side of the fabric so that we can work over it into that first stitch. So I'll go ahead and yarn over and insert my hook into that stitch, yarn over and draw through, then yarn over and draw through 2 loops on my hook. I'll drop my contrasting color and pick up the main color. Go ahead and give it a little tug. Doesn't need to be too tight. You just want it to be long enough so that it rides along the edge there, but then also reaches the top of the row so that we can work over it. And it's in position to make this color change. So go ahead and yarn over with the new color there and draw through the 2 loops on your hook to complete your color change. We're ready to continue with our main color. Chain 1, and next we'll work into that chain 1 space. We'll make a double crochet into that next chain 1 space while working over the contrasting color. Next, I'll work over the contrasting color again and into that chain space to make another double crochet while changing color on the last yarn over. So when I get to the last yarn over, I'll drop my main color and pick up the contrasting color. Go ahead and give it a little bit of a tug, then yarn over and draw through the 2 loops on my hook to complete the color change. And then chain 1. So again, we'll work over the main color and make a double crochet in the next chain space. Then we'll make another double crochet in that same chain space, stop before we get to the last yarn over, drop the contrasting color, and pick up the main color. Give that a tug, and then yarn over and pull through to complete your color change. Continue in that sequence, continue working all across the row until you get to the last 2 double crochets, and I'll meet you there to show you how to end the row. I've reached the end of the row and there are just 2 double crochet stitches remaining. Chain 1, and I'll skip the next double crochet. Next, we'll double crochet in the last double crochet while working over this carried yarn. This happens to be the top of the beginning chain 3. So I'll make a double crochet in the top of that beginning chain 3. Next, I'm going to work another double crochet in that same chain and then change color in the last yarn over. So yarn over, insert my hook into the chain, yarn over and draw through, then yarn over and draw through 2 loops on my hook. Then I'll drop my main color and pick up the contrasting color, Give it a little bit of a tug, and then yarn over with the contrasting color and draw through the 2 loops on my hook. And that completes our color change. Go ahead and turn your work, and row 2 is complete. See how we're already creating these vertical stripes? Every row from here to the last one will be worked in this same basic way. You can use the stitch diagram in the pattern as a guide, but as long as you keep changing color after every 2 double crochet group, your stripes should align just right. Let's review the steps you'll take for the rest of the rows in your wrap. To start each row, chain 3. Then carry the yarn not in use up the side and work over it when you make the first part of the next double crochet. Then yarn over with the carried yarn and draw through the last 2 loops on your hook to complete the color change. Chain 1. While working over the yarn not in use, work 2 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, changing color in the last yarn over of the last double crochet you make in that group. Chain 1. Continue working in this manner across the row. When you get to the last 2 double crochet at the end of the row, skip the next double crochet. While working over the yarn not in use, work 2 double crochet in the last double crochet, changing color in the last yarn over of the last double crochet you make in the group. Then turn. Remember these tips. To help keep your yarns from getting tangled, always pick up and drop off each yarn to its designated spot. To help maintain an even tension, gently tug on your yarn before changing colors. I hope you enjoy making your Shadow Plaid Wrap. Once you get in the rhythm of the stitches, it can be a very relaxing project. And at the end, you'll have a super cozy wrap to keep you warm and in style throughout the colder months. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more crochet techniques, tips, and tutorials, and check out the links in the video notes for more ways to find me and my patterns.